We'll guide you through how to set up your Google business profile. If you find this useful, then consider subscribing and liking the video. Now we're handing over to Pauser, who's going to continue with the guide.
Now, before we get to it, it's worth understanding why this matters in the first place. Whether you run a service-based business that travels out to customer, a physical storefront that people walk into, or an online store that ship product, having a Google business profile, formerly known as Google My Business, is genuinely one of the highest impact, lowest cost thing that you can do for your company's visibility. It's what allows your business to show up in Google Map and local search result, complete with your hour, address, phone number, website, and a short description, all details someone needs to decide whether to choose you over a competitor. For this walkthrough, we are going to use a fictional baking called Maple and Co Bakery. So keep in mind that the exact step here apply just as well whether you are running a bakery, a dental office, a mobile car detailing service, or an online boutique. The core process stays the same no matter your industry. So let's get started. The first thing that you need to do is before creating anything new, it's check whether your business already exists on Google in some form. So just go ahead and open any browser to your liking and then open Google Maps. In my case, I'm using Google, so I'll just go to Google Apps and choose to open Maps. So in the search bar, I'm just gonna go ahead and search my business name, which is going to be Maple and Co.Bakery. After that, just go ahead and press enter. Here is why this matter. Google frequently generates a listing for businesses automatically, especially if you have been operating for a while. Even if nobody from your company have ever created that listing themselves, if you search and find your business already sitting there unclaimed, you will usually see an option to claim this business right on the listing. If that's the case for you, just go ahead and click through that claiming process instead of starting quickly from scratch. It tends to be much quicker. If you search and find absolutely nothing, no listing at all, then you will be creating your profile completely fresh, which is exactly what we are going to demonstrate today. So in my case, I'm not getting any result, so I'm just gonna go ahead and open a new tab, and then in the search bar, just go ahead and search for google.com/business. After that, just go ahead and press enter. And now you will land in this interface. You can even bookmark this page by just clicking on the star icon at the top, since you will likely return to this dashboard often to manage your listing. So you will need an Google account to continue. So if you don't already have one connected to your business, especially, now is a good time to set one up. We suggest using an email tied to your business rather than a personal Gmail account, since this account will control your public business listing going forward. And you can see I have already signed in with my account, so you can just go ahead and click on start now, and now you will land in this interface. Now you'll be asked to fill in your business name. In our example, I'm just gonna go ahead and type Maple and Co Bakery. Take a moment to make sure you are entering your business name exactly as it appears on your signage website and other official materials. Consistency across the internet actually matters for how Google trusts and ranks your listing. So let's go ahead and click on continue, and next you will be asked to select your business type. Google will give you three main categories to choose from, and importantly, you are allowed to select more than one if it applies to your situation. The first option is online retail, which fits businesses that operate purely through e-commerce, meaning customer offer online rather than physically visiting a location. The second option is going to be local store or storefront. This covers businesses like ours today, a bakery with a physical shop customer walk into, but it also applies to things like retail shop, saloons, or restaurant. And the third option is going to be a service business, which fits company like a plumber, landscaper, or mobile technician, especially anyone who travels out to the customer rather than the other way around. Since the company that we are working today has a physical shop that the customer can visit in person, we are going to select the storefront or local store for this example. And again, if your business fits more than one of these category, feel free to select other category just like so. In my case, it's going to be only local store, so I'll just go ahead and click on next. Now here you'll be asked to choose a business category. This step matters more than people usually expect. because it directly affects what your business shows up for people, for when people search on Google or Google Maps. For our bakery, there are a few reasonable options that you can choose: bakery, dessert shop, or even cafe, depending on what we primarily offer. Generally speaking, it's smart to pick a category that's broad and enough to capture how most people would naturally search for businesses like yours, rather than something overly narrow or specific. For this tutorial, we are going to select our category as bakery, for example. So I'm just gonna go ahead and search for bakery and select bakery just like so. After that, you can just go ahead and click on next. Now here, you'll be asked to enter your business address. So I'm just gonna go ahead and select my country and then select street address and then also add your postal code. So if you don't know what your postal code is, you can just go ahead and copy your street address by pressing Ctrl C, open a new tab and press Ctrl V, and then just go ahead and search for postal code for your particular street. And you can see in my case, the postal code is 44600. So I'm just gonna go back and type 446600. After that, just go ahead and click on next. And here now you'll say it is saying, is this your business? So basically, if this is your business that is already available, you can just go ahead and select them. And as for me, it is not. So I'm just going to scroll all the way down and choose none of these and click on next. Now we will move on to setting your business location. Since we have selected a storefront style business, this step is about entering the actual physical address where customer can find you. So in my case, we can just go ahead and click on adjust, and then you can scroll to zoom, and then after that you can use your mouse to pan and then select your exact location. So let's say my location is around just right here. I'm just gonna go ahead and select that. And also worth noting that if your business had been a service-based company like a mobile business that travels to customer rather than having them visit you, this step would look a little different. Instead of single storefront address, you would be defining a service area, especially the town or neighborhood that you are willing to travel to go to work. This, if that applies to you, a good rule of thumb is to stick to areas genuinely close to your base of operation, generally within a reasonable driving distance. Google has been known to remove listings that list services area spread unreasonably far apart, since that tends to signal an inaccurate or misleading listing. But again, since our bakery example is a physical storefront, we will simply move forward by entering the exact address and click on next. And now here you can add details to show the customer. So basically here you can add your mobile number. So I'm just gonna skip this step for now. And here make sure to toggle on get news and tips about how to improve your business profile and click on continue. And now you will see the verification start. So I'm just gonna skip my verification. So I'll just choose to verify later on. Also regarding the verification method, Google typically offers a few very different verification method, and which ones you are offered depends on the type of businesses that you have selected. For service-based businesses, verification can be simple as confirming a phone number. For other businesses, Google may instead offer to mail a physical postcard containing a verification code directly to your business address. This can take anywhere from 5 days up to 2 weeks to arrive, sometimes longer, and once it arrives, you will enter the code back into your Google Business Profile dashboard to complete the verification. There is also a newer verification method that has become increasingly common, particularly for physical storefront business like our bakery, for example, video verification. If you are prompted to do this, Google will typically ask you to record a short video showing things like you unlocking the front entrance, walking through the interior of your business, and perhaps showing any business signage, vehicle, or equipment that help confirm that you are really operating at that location. It might sound unusual at first time you hear it, but the process itself is generally straightforward and does not take long to complete. Whichever method you are offered, here is also an option to skip verification for the moment so you can complete it later, which is what we did, and it can be useful if you rather finish setting up the rest of your profile first. And from there, we will move on to setting your business hour. This part is fairly self-explanatory, but accuracy really does matter here. If your bakery is only staffed and open from early morning until early afternoon, make sure that's exactly what's reflected. Don't select hour you cannot realistically honor, since customers showing up to a closed business creates a poor impression and can lead to negative review. The good news is the hours are not set in stone. You are able to update them anytime directly through your dashboard. For example, if your hour shift seasonally throughout the year. So I'm just gonna set my hour. So let's say I'm not open in Sunday and Saturday, right? So I'll toggle them off at Sunday and Saturday and toggle on all of the other options just like so. And after toggling them on, you can just add opens at and closes at. So let's say I open my store in like 10 a.m. I will just select it and then go to the closest at and choose the time, which is going to be something like 5. So now you can do the same for all of your days. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Got it, okay, got it, okay. After that, you can just go ahead and click on next. And here you will get to add a business description. Google will typically show you an example of how the text appears on the actual listing, generally a short punchy line describing what the business offer. For our bakery, something like a cozy neighborhood bakery specializing in custom cakes, fresh pastries, and locally roasted coffee. Google generally allows up to 750 characters for this field, but we would strongly recommend keeping things concise. A fewer clean sentence tend to perform far better than a long cluttered paragraph. This description shows up across Google Search, Google Map, and other connected Google services, so it's worth taking a moment to get it right. Following that, just go ahead and click on next, and here we will get an option to add a storefront photo. This step matters more than people often expect, since listing with a genuine appealing photo tend to convert far more browsers into actual customer. At minimum, try to include a handy of quality photo showing your storefront from outside along with some shots of your product or interior space. Over time, as customer begin leaving review, many of them will add their own photos as well, which helps build even more trust and credibility for your listing. For now on, I'm just gonna go ahead and skip this part for now and choose to skip and add the photos of your store here. And you can even see the example and just click on next. And I'm just gonna skip this part for now. And after your photos are uploaded, you will likely be presented with an advertisement credit offer, generally framed as a certain dollar amount of free advertising credit towards Google ad. Read the fine print carefully here, since these offers often require you to spend a matching amount yourself before the credit applies. Running paid advertising absolutely can be valuable down the line, but it's a separate topic entirely from simply getting your business profile properly set up. So we recommend skipping this step for now and revisiting the paid advertising once your organic profile is fully complete and optimized. Just go ahead and click on skip for this part for now. And then here you will get a custom domain name for your website and custom email address. So basically, you have to buy a custom domain name for their business and custom email address. But I'm just gonna skip this part for now, or you can also choose to start a trial. And now you will see it is saying your edit will be visible once you are verified. So just go ahead and click on continue. And now you will see now it is saying your business is not visible to customer. So here you can choose to click on get verified and then verify your business, and then it will be publicly available. Once you have made it through each of these steps, your business listing will be created and will be appearing publicly, particularly once verification has been completed successfully. From this point forward, your Google Business Profile dashboard becomes your ongoing home base for managing everything related to your listing. This is where you will be able to read and respond to your customer review, monitor how many people are viewing your listing and then how they are finding you, reply directly to any message customer send through your profile, and update details like your service, hour, or photo anytime something changes.